Hey, this is Joe. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a noise tube delete on a 2024 Mazda Miata ND3. This will apply to some of the other Mazda later models that have the noise tube. What this tube does is it injects engine noise into the cockpit of the car. It adds a lot of tubing and brackets to your engine, and a lot of people say they don't want the noise in the cockpit of the car. Most manufacturers will sell you a noise tube delete kit. Mazda sells this tube assembly right here without the noise tube connector for $37. Some of the third-party or aftermarket companies like Flying Miata will sell you a aluminum fitting that plugs up or removes this fitting right here and just puts a separate tube that goes into your valve cover gasket right there, and that runs $40. That includes this separate fitting right here, and it includes a rubber plug or grommet that goes into the firewall. You can purchase this directly from Mazda. I have the part number, and I'll put that in the description. What I did is I measured this tube diameter right here, and it turns out it's 1.5 inches. So what I did is I purchased a rubber cap with an inside diameter of 1.5 inches. So when we pop that clamp off of the noise tube, we can then cap that plug. I paid almost $6 and change for 4 of these caps, and I paid from Mazda around $3 and change for the rubber grommet. So that comes out to right around $10. So that's a pretty good savings for doing this noise tube delete. And keep the other caps, because in my next video I'm going to show you how you can use this cap to do direct injection port cleaning, which cleans the backs of your intake valves and your intake manifold, because with a direct injection you don't get fuel on the back side of those valves to wash off the carbon buildup. The fuel is directly injected into the cylinders, so your valves build up a lot of carbon, and one of the only solutions is to take the intake manifold off and use walnut shell media to blast that off. I did that on my GTI, and it's a major pain in the rear to do. So by doing direct port injection cleaning every oil change, you'll help prevent that carbon buildup. So my next video, I'm going to show you how to do that and show you how to take one of these rubber caps and make a direct injection port cleaning adapter for that. So let's go get started with the noise tube delete. First thing we want to do is to remove the hose clamp. So get your hose clamp pliers and compress that clamp and slide it out of the way. In order to get the rubber hose off, you want to get yourself a flat blade screwdriver and gently stick that screwdriver tip underneath the inside of the rubber tube, and that will make it easy to slide that tube off. We're going to pull the rubber hose now. So we need to just stick that screwdriver in and gently jiggle off the hose. What you want to do is hang on to this hose clamp right here, because we're going to use that to clamp on our little rubber cap. So once we have this hose off, we want to get a 10mm socket and a ratchet, and there's 2 bolt positions that we want to remove. One here just slightly downstream from the noise tube. We want to remove this bolt right here and hang on to this hardware in case you ever want to put your noise tube back on. Now there's another bolt right here. It's hard to see from the camera angle, but there's another 10mm bolt that's holding a bracket that goes just slightly off the shock tower mount. So we're going to pull that bolt as well. And on the other side, there's a rubber grommet that is held in place on a bolt here. So you're going to have to lift up on that to pull that little rubber boot off this bracket. And now you have the entire noise tube, and the only section you have to remove is the grommet that goes into the firewall that goes into the cockpit. What you want to do now is gently pull on the noise tube at the grommet location where it goes into the firewall, and then we'll gently remove that tube and grommet from the firewall. And it might even be wise to use the screwdriver to help loosen that grommet up against the firewall. And with a little bit of gentle prying, we were able to get that tube out from the firewall. Go ahead and set your noise tube off to the side. And again, if you want to put this on at a later date, put it in your garage in a safe location. Now we want to get the grommet that I purchased directly from Mazda, rubber grommet, and we want to insert that into the firewall. We've got the grommet installed. Now what you want to do is get your rubber cap. We want to take the hose clamp off of the noise tube, and we're going to then clamp this rubber cap onto the inlet of the intake manifold. And we want to put that and then let's go ahead and put the hose clamp on. Okay, the hose clamp is a little bit big, so we're going to have to get a slightly smaller hose clamp. I've ordered a 27mm spring clamp from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. In the meantime, to get me by, I put a second cap on top of the first cap, and now we can take the original spring clamp and clamp it in place. So that will get me by until the new clamp, the slightly smaller clamp, that 27mm clamp, will go from 27mm to 31mm, and 1 5/16 is 30mm. So now what you want to do is we want to start the car. We want to put a rag underneath that, and we want to spray a little throttle body cleaner or carburetor cleaner, whatever you happen to have lying around, to make sure there's no vacuum leaks. If we get any increase in RPM or decrease in RPM when we spray that cleaner in there, then that indicates that we have a leak. So let me go ahead and fire up the car. Now that we have the engine running, let's spray a little cleaner around that port and see if we have any leaks. Okay, that looks good. We don't have any leaks. So tomorrow when that new clamp comes, I'll pull the other cap off and then put the new clamp on. And we now have a hose delete completed. We have the plug in the firewall. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.